Wake up song, wake up song. I am now awake right now. Wake up song, wake up song. Do I hear bus? Hold on, let me check. Okay, I don't. I'm good. I should be awake, and if I'm not... Oh wow, that kind of ended. Okay, well then. Let's continue. We're nearly done with this. He saw his cheeks were normal, though. I'm infected. It keeps revolving off of the computer and hitting me in the mouth. He felt his hands. She felt it. Where's the pain greatest, Luna? He asked in a calm voice. The mayor rubbed her left hoof over the right along the ankle joint. Here, she replied. He knelt down and ran his hands along the joint. Her fur was amazingly soft. It was like a silky velvet. As David checked her ankle, he applied some light pressure to it. Luna flinched as a jolt of pain coursed from the injury. Sorry, he uttered. David was hardly a veterinarian, but he'd seen enough sprains on both people and animals to notice the area was somewhat swollen. Reaching back, he picked up the ice pack. Yeah, I knew it was an ice pack, okay. He softly placed it over the injured area. Luna began to feel a cool, soothing sensation circulate across her ankles. It felt nice as the throbbing pain began to lessen. Okay, I think I have to speak a little more quieter, because I've stopped yawning. He smiled at her as he noticed her beautiful teal eyes staring back at him. Luna placed her other hoof on the ice pack. It partly touched his hand. For a moment she could almost swear he was blushing. Shaking her head, she looked again and saw his cheeks were normal. The pain must have been affecting her senses. Still, she smiled in spite of herself. Luna's human host rose to his feet and moved over to examine her wing. Let me see your wing, Luna, please, David asked very politely. The smile remained on her face as she cautiously stretched out of her injured appendage. It was fortunate for Luna that David was a lover of animals, and he had tended quite a few birds and injured wings. That one took longer than usual. Her wings didn't seem all that different from a bird's, only larger. The shape, structure, and feather coverage was very similar. Plus, he'd learned a great deal from the vet he took the injured birds to. The caring man placed his hands ever so gently on her wing. He began scanning the surface for any signs of serious injury, such as abrasions or, heaven forbid, breaks. Heaven forbid, breaks. I need a break. No, heaven forbid the break. He began scanning those. I'm going to yawn the other one now. Alright, I just yawned at the door, which is closed. Luna's human host rose to his feet and moved over to examine the wing. May I see your wing, please, Luna? May I see your wing, Luna, please? I did that a little bit weirdly. David asked politely. The smile remained on her face as she cautiously stretched out her injured appendage. Oh, I just read here. He began scanning the surface for any signs of... Alright. A cursory check revealed no serious wounds. Still, he knew something was causing pain. Just like her hoof, he applied some light pressure. Immediately shuddering from a rush of pain, David backed off, not wanting to aid to her ailing. From what he could conclude, Mila must have lately sprained it, or perhaps she had a very slight fracture. He figured bandaging the wing would be the best aid in her recovery. He also stood to reason that she might have sustained a break. Her pain level would be a great... Had she sustained a break, her pain level would be a great deal higher. Oh! Yeah, we're almost done. What happens when I click that? Nothing? Okay. Luna turned her head to look at him in awe. So what did you find out? She asked. Come on, I am so sorry. I don't know why I keep yawning. I'm not tired. I sleep very well. He turned and smiled at her. Well, you are very lucky. David rose for a moment. Some of her features were hidden out of the darkness. That's why he didn't notice the long horn protruding from her crown. Somehow he also missed it very few minutes ago as he saw her to her injuries. Is everything okay, David? Luna inquired curiously. He shook his head for a moment. Yeah, I'm fine. You'll just have to bear with me. I've never seen a grown pony with wings and a horn. Not to mention having such a lovely body color either. Yes, dark blue is very lovely. I like blue and red. That's why my iPhone cover is red. I think when I play SCP Containment Breach next, I'll use a camera. I'll just use my cam recorder thing and do that, because that was really cool. Okay. He shook his head from, yeah, yes. Anyways, I was going to say, you're a very lucky pony. Your wounds seem to be minor. Still, I wouldn't recommend galloping or flying for quite a few days. Though your ankle and wing are only sprained, they could break if you overdo it. Yeah, I've dealt with that before. Luna's eyes became fixated on him for a moment. There was the utmost sincerity in his voice. She couldn't really recall the last time she heard anyone speak so kindly to her. That was the other than her sister and Twilight Sparkle. It was refreshing to hear another individual show such concern for her well-being. She sighed softly, setting the ice pack on the cushion. You want to get to the cushion? Let's get to the cushion, man. Thank you, David, for your hospitality. I hope I'm not imposing, she replied. He smiled warmly at her. It's all right, Luna. I'm enjoying the company, and glad to be of help, he replied. I'm moving my head while doing that. What the fudge, your nutters? These nuts, says what's said to that. David still couldn't believe he was talking to a pony, let alone one with wings and a horn. Though he figured he just went with flow. Just went with the flow. Maybe he'd wake up and discover it was nothing more than a dream. Opening the first aid kit, he removed some. Hold on, what was that? I'll be right back. Hold on a second. Bye, Brat. I don't know what I just heard, but I heard something. Okay. He smiled warmly at her. It's alright, Luna. No. Opening, there was nothing more than. He believed he was talking about, let alone one with wings and a horn. Though he figured he just went with the flow. Maybe he'd wake up and discover it was nothing more than a dream. Opening the first aid kit, he removed some white and tan bandages and some medical tape. Now I'm reading slower. Now let's bandage you up, David suggested. Luna closed her eyes and nodded. The youthful man first covered her ankle and went on to bandage her wing. He buddy tapped the wing to her side. Buddy tapped the wing to her side. Buddy taped. Oh. Still don't know what that means. Buddy taped. Limiting the movement would best aid in its convalescence. Once he had finished, he packed up the first aid kit and smiled. He asked, "Are you hungry, Luna?" She shook her head. "No, I'm fine. Though I am a little thirsty," she added, noticing how dry her mouth had become. "How about a nice glass of water?" he proposed. The pony smiled and nodded. David left the room, taking the medical kit with him. While he was busy in the kitchen, Luna decided to remove her other. That's a typo right there. It says Luna decided to remove her other, remover, like REMOVER, and then her other shoes. Wait, what? Luna decided to remove, I'm just going to say it's remove her other shoes. Her other shoe just got removed, so it'd be shoe. There's 2 typos in that sentence. I'm going to say this correctly. While he was busy in the kitchen, Luna decided to remove her other shoe and made herself more comfortable. It finally seemed clear that his intentions were sincere. She carefully placed her shoes under the coffee table. Right, so her shoes under the coffee table. Okay, that's correct. Including the one. Alright, hold on. This is gonna be a sneeze, I think. Yum, 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 yum. Tasty. She was on the table, including what he had placed on his table. She looked up and saw him re-enter in the room. He was clutching a tall glass of water in his left hand while concealing something in his other hand. Luna looked at him curiously. What could he be holding in his other hand? Hand. She wondered. Here you are, David spoke, presenting the glass. Luna momentarily tensed up. Normally she would have taken the glass with her, magic, but she didn't want to reveal her royal identity or her powers to him. Royal? How would you... Oh, right. The crown. That was at least not yet. Silly, she reached her front nose out of the glass. My nose is not working. Hold on. Yeah. It's kind of stuffed. Why is there... Grace? Desk. Alright, once I'm finished with this, I'm going to clear out my nose. Here you are, David spoke, presenting a glass. Luna momentarily Oh my god! I'm so sorry, I don't think I'm in any good time to do this. It's during 15 minutes. I'll do every reading I'll do besides... Well, every reading I'll do of this thing and everything else he's done, because he does them for like 36,000. And so I'll read it for 15 whole minutes. Well, man, I'm gonna stretch. And yawn, I guess. Get trapped over there. Okay. There was a sudden twinge in her injured hoof. Luna retracted her hooves while a forlorn expression formed on her elegant pony face. Pony face. I'm gonna move the cursor. He smiled at her kindly. Where are my manners? David expressed. Here. He added, holding the glass up to her lips. Luna blinked for a moment and clearly felt her cheeks turn flush. It had been centuries since she experienced chivalry of this nature. Slowly, she opened her mouth. Carefully, David tipped the glass, allowing its contents to slowly enter her mouth. Luna drank the cool, refreshing water. He pulled the glass back, making sure not to give her too much at once. Again, she noticed his clutched hand. She had not known what he was holding. What, may I ask, are you holding in your other hand? What, may I ask, are you holding in your other hand? Her eyes remained fixed on it. He smiled and chuckled slightly. It suddenly dawned on him that he did still have something in his other hand, and were he in her position, David would also be wondering what he was holding. Here, he said, opening his hand. The man presented the mayor with a pair of small white pills. Do you want the blue pill or the red pill? The blue pill or the red pill? I'll choose neither. I'm not getting nothing from you. She looked at them questioningly. They looked similar to pain relief medication she'd seen in Cant a lot, but she knew that some pills were dangerous. What, pray tell, are these for? She asked cautiously. Luna's tone contained a suspicious quality. Then it hit him. He was still mostly a stranger to her, and now he was offering her pills? I took that wrong. I took that so wrong. Okay, hold on. What's the time at? Okay, no. I'm going to do this one for a whole 16 minutes, because I need to continue reading. I need to finish this. Luna's tongue contained What Lewis he completely understood her skepticism. Oh, don't be alarmed. These are just simply medication to help with your pain. Please, Luna, don't be afraid. I have no intention of harming you. I only want to see you get better, he explained. Luna gazed into his brown eyes. There was a distinct sincerity in them. Her ears drooped down. She felt touched by his compassion. Okay, she uttered, opening her mouth. Okay, I'm redoing that. Her ears drooped down. She felt touched by his compassion. Okay, ... she uttered, opening her mouth. There we go. David placed the 2 pills gently on her tongue. Then he offered her some water to wash them down. She drank from the glass, carefully swallowed the pills. After she had taken the pills, he offered her another sip. She took a sizable gulp. Gug, chug, 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 chug. No! No. He set the half-emptied glass on the coffee table. Thank you for being so kind, she commented. Her host gave her another warm smile, moving my legs around like an idiot. Okay. Hallelujah. The night in this new place, which she remembered him saying was Earth. I'm just going to cough that way. Felt quite cool, and it was much like the night air in Equestria. I voice cracked. Hey, I'm 13. Deal with it. I voice crack. The air within David's home had a slight nip to it. Luna shuddered slightly from the cold. Before she could say a word, he began covering her with a warm tan blanket. He had noticed her tremble and knew it would be best for her to stay warm. Her eyes focused on him, blinking occasionally. This should keep you warm, he remarked softly. Thank you, she responded, still unsure why he couldn't stop looking at him. He stood up and walked to the doorway. I need to secure the house for the night. You just stay here and rest. No, please, don't hesitate to call if you need anything. Her host walked into the adjacent room. I thought it said adjacent.com. That's funny. Luna repositioned herself. She made sure to mind her wounds. After settling, the mare began to notice how comfortable the blanket was. The alicorn could hear him puttering in the other room. She began to notice her eyelids grow steadily heavier. A wave of fatigue began to make her drowsy. Luna removed her tiara and necklace, placing them on the coffee table. She also placed the ice pack on the table with a few more, and then added a few more pillows to the area by her head. Resting her head, she let it sink into them. For long, she had drifted off to sleep. A few minutes passed, and David returned. He had to check to make sure the back door was locked. Whoops. Was locked, and the rest of the lights were out. The kind host checked it on his guest. He saw she was resting comfortably. A smile covered his face as he moved to lock the front door. He turned out the lights, except for the small lamp seated at the end of the table between 2 chairs. David quietly dropped into the chair on the closest sofa. He removed his jacket and covered himself with it. While the night air was cool, it hardly warranted turning on the furnace. The man kept a close vigil on the pony. He could scarcely believe he was tending to a talking dark blue mare with wings and a unicorn's horn. Before long, he felt his eyes grow heavy. He placed the throw pillow behind his head and repositioned his jacket. In moments, he had drifted off to the land of dreams. The room was silent aside from the collective breathing. Neither of them were snoring. Luna's sleep was periodically plagued as haunting visions of her past would plague her mind. Ooh, that's not good. Alright, hold on. The room was silent aside now. Then she found herself flying in an unfamiliar place. She felt frightened by the area around her. Began to blur. Panic as she saw a tree appear. Oh no! Right in front of her. There was no time to dodge. She braced for impact. Luna gasped awake. She sat up partially and bumped her wings. The pain made her shake as she remembered what happened. Looking around, she saw she was still in the human's house. There beside the sofa, she saw David. He was half leaning on the sofa arm. He must have dozed off while keeping a watch over her. The mare lightly pressed a hoof on his arm. He moaned softly in his sleep. She heard him mutter her name and within his slumber. He must have so many questions for me, she thought. Perhaps I should explain to him, though I doubt he would believe me. Alright, I'm right here at the end. Seeing all was calm, Luna nestled back down under the warm blankets and returned to sleep. That is it. It is a whole 20 minutes, and I hope you guys enjoyed. That was chapter 1 of A Fateful Flight. I will be reading this whenever there's no one else home. And yeah, bye.